So if you've followed me, then you've probably seen pictures of my studio before. And this is the beautiful view outside that I have. And then I just have a little comfy sitting area. And what I like to do when I start working in the morning is a little bit of quiet thinking, meditation here, and then move into whatever it is that I'm going to do for the day. Sometimes, not very often lately, but sometimes I do laser printing, and when I use this machine, sometimes that's just part of my overall process. But lately, I've been really interested in painting and just exploring and playing through paint. So, this is one area that I do that. This is just something little that I was working on this morning and yesterday. I love typography, so I like still working with words. Oops, these are some little masks that I have made, actually using my laser printer, and then I incorporate them into my pieces here. So over here is another area that I paint and sketch and explore. I have a little color study book right here that I just experiment in and write down thoughts about what those colors, what they say to me. Sometimes it's watercolor, sometimes it's oil pastel, sometimes it's acrylic, and then a little exploration sketchbook where I explore different ideas that I'm working with each day. So that can vary. It can be collage. It can be, using some of that typography again. It can be using sometimes printmaking things. And then over here is every area is like mixed, so it's never just one thing. But this morning I was using some little wooden plates that I had made. This one happens to be of feathers. And I was inking them and then using this new great little tool that I've got, which is a very small little etching press. And so it's really basic in how it functions. And so I've got the blanket and I can just roll my prints through. So when I pull this out, I've masked off the area where I set my wooden plate, and then I put a piece of paper down on top of it, and I've got that area masked off too, so that I know where to put the paper, put the blanket down, roll it through. And then these are some little experimental prints that I've made this morning of the feathers. Just black ink, and then I mixed a little bit of metallic ink and blending ink in with my black. And then, so when I'm painting, I have a palette paper that I use, and then sometimes I like to cut the palette paper up and keep it because it's so interesting. It's got these great marks on it, and then I can use that in collage. So I decided to take some of my palette papers, cut them down to 8 by 10, and then print some black feathers on them. Sometimes with my palette, if I find it very interesting, I'll take a piece of tracing paper and put it down over the wet palette when I'm no longer ready to print. And I almost make like a monoprint tracing paper print over it, and I'll draw into it or scratch on it like I've done here. But then today I decided to print some feathers on top of that tracing paper monoprint. So there's a little bit about what I've been doing. I'll try to check in now and again. Oh, I love, my students will tell you, I love process journals. And so I've been keeping track of my own process and the different things that I make here. And they'd have my throat if I didn't make a process journal when I come back to school, because I have them do it, and I love recording my process. So these are just all palettes that I've used, palette papers, and then some photographs of different pieces that I've made, things I've been exploring, Sometimes just photographs of light or stuff coming out of the laser printer or paintings that I've made. This section are all the original paintings. Yeah, so there you have it. Let's see, it is October 7th this morning, and hope you're all having a good day. I will check in again. Happy Friday.